Welcome to day 328 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother Brian, and we have two very special guests today. We have Mark Bentley and Alex Roken of Cloutform. They do videos as well. How's it going, guys?
Probably two of my favorite people, and I don't say this as a joke or as like trying to like I don't say this to everybody, but like I love what you guys are doing with Cloutform. Uh, I watch all your episodes, even though we're across the planet and it's 10:15 p.m. where you guys are. We try to communicate and we try to stay in touch, and it's great what you guys are doing, and I think you guys can appeal to like that other half of the planet that's up at different times.
Absolutely. Hey, Brian, we really appreciate it. Really appreciate it, Ed, what you guys have done. We've said it a million times, but we're the biggest fans of your work as well. And Ed, I was saying to Brian, there's some news we'll have later, but I'm really looking forward when we all get to sit in person because I think we're going to have some great conversations.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the feelings are mutual for sure. And one thing I know for sure that I consider your project as Krasenstein is one of the most influential projects in the space of DeSo for sure.
Thanks, Alex. We look up to you guys. You're our role models.
Oh,
So
well, you know
we'll
what I
get
think,
these
Ed,
news.
it feels sometimes. I was just going to say, it feels sometimes like it's you guys are out there covering the news and all the awesome things, and that gives us the treat of finding all the magic that we can then go dive deeper in Cloutform with. So we owe a lot to
That's
you
a
guys.
good point. Yeah, you're like the deeper dive. Like we just briefly touch on stuff, and you like dive deeply into it with cooler
Yeah,
accents. So
by the way, it happens a few times when you invited some guests and we just follow up on them after your show. We invited them to our show so to go dive deeper and exploring their characters. So you are providing value for us for sure.
we
Yeah,
should
talking about
we should start charging referral commission to you guys then.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't worry.
talking about diving
back.
deeper. Like I was actually on your show the other day, and it's actually airing today. I think at like later this evening. I think probably in about 12 hours from us posting this, maybe a little bit less, right? So I'm looking forward to watching that. I didn't get to see it. I just got to see it from my point of view. But you guys always do a great job. And if you want to tune in later today, Mark and Alex asked me a lot of important questions, I think.
Yeah, it was a great podcast. It was really good.
So let's move on to the news, and we'll get more to what Cloutform's doing and what Bentley and Roken are doing. Yesterday was a huge day for DeSo, a huge day for NFTs, and a huge day for the space community as NFTs to Space, which is a project that's being run by Chase Steely and Rudy Carson. They sent some NFTs to space with astronauts Sion Proctor and Ron Garan leading up the mission. It was great. We took part in a Zoom call. Proctor was there, Garan was there, Steely, Bob Richards from Artemis Space Network, among many, many others. And over 150 NFTs were sent to space. The majority of them were DeSo NFTs. So it was super, it was like a rush of energy, a rush of emotions. We got to sit there as they counted down until when the NFTs actually hit the International Space Station. And once they hit the International Space Station, they did a full orbit around the Earth before being sent back down to Earth. And the signals were streamed out into the universe for, perhaps other life forms to see. Imagine being an alien, getting an NFT with laser eyes, and it'd be kind of freaky, I think. Anyhow, it was a great time. We actually sent with the Van Halen brothers, we sent a couple Natterheads up to space. We had a space Natterhead, and then we had the Eve Natterhead. And also there's a Cloutpunk that was a collab with the Eve Natterhead that went up to space. And today at 2 p.m. Eastern time on Clubhouse, we're actually auctioning off the Natterhead that went to space. And whoever wins that auction gets a corresponding Cloutpunk NFT that also went to space. So you're going to be able to buy 2 space NFTs today at 2 p.m. Eastern time on Clubhouse. Definitely check that out. We're also going to be giving away $100 in creator coin of Natterheads during that Clubhouse room. it's gonna be a really fun time, and it might be the first of the batch of these NFTs that went to space to actually be sold. So we don't know what the market price is going to be, but this is probably going to set the market price for what value these NFTs hold for going into space.
Yeah, and we'll also be giving 10% of the revenue to Saving the Survivors, a great charity that helps rhinos who are injured. It saves them pretty much. So I'm really excited about that. This whole space mission was super professional. I'm like just so excited because I think it really puts DeSo on the map. I'm sure there's going to be some media attention eventually brought to what they're doing with NFTs to space, and DeSo is all over it. And I just want to give a shout out to Chase Steely and Matreshka and Rudy Carson. Did a great job. It was a very professional, I guess, event, you could say.
Yeah, and it was awesome to see Ava from Clara Mouse there as well. Of course, she created the Clara Mouse NFTs, and they went to space as well. And there's actually an article in Yahoo News talking about it, talking about Clara Mouse and Ava's creation. And Ava's father, Nathan Wells, was also there on hand. It was just a really good time and a lot of great people taking part in this project.
Yeah, did you guys have a chance to check it out at all?
I didn't get to, man. I've been working out homeschooling with my boy lately, so it's been a full-time job recently, but that's where I come to you guys for the news. But the idea, like, even as you read that NFTs going around what world are we living in? This is incredible.
It really is.
Chase Steely would be a great person to have on your show.
Absolutely.
So yesterday was Natter's birthday.
If you're watching.
Yeah, exactly. Chase is watching. I'm sure he is. Yesterday was Natter's birthday. Alex Villedas made a post telling people to blow up his notifications, and blow up his notifications they did. He got a ton of replies.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Natter.
Happy birthday, Natter.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, so that's awesome. Natter's birthday. It's also DeSo birthday. DeSo's birthday is coming up in what, like another 11 days or so?
I think. Yeah.
So was awesome. It on the same day, the birthday and the space, NFTs space?
They were supposed to be, but it got pushed back because of the interest that they had and some different things that went on. But it was supposed to be March 1st for the NFTs to space. You're right. And there's going to be future missions for that as well.
I think this is the perfect gift for Nadir, having this event, this project happening close to his birthday, and I think it's awesome for him for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah, it would be awesome if somebody gifted him a space NFT, one that went to space for his birthday. If anybody out there wants to do that, that'll be a great birthday gift for Natter. I'd say we do it, but we're actually giving the other Natterhead that went to space to Chase Steely for the work he put in. So we don't have any left after this auction, so otherwise we do it. Dharmesh yesterday made a post about why people are attracted to a platform, Brian.
Yes, so he made a post, I guess, giving DeSo some ideas on like how to attract more people. And he listed 3 ways: fame, fortune, and FOMO. So basically fame, a lot of people, so people would want to join DeSo. If there's a ton of people on here already, they can get fame. Fortune, they can make money. And FOMO, everybody's joining, so let's rush in and join. But basically in the post, he went on and he said, the single most important thing DeSo can do to attract more developers is to retain many more users. So he's saying users will attract developers rather than developers attracting users, I guess. And Alex replied, and it was an interesting reply. He said, Dharmesh is right. Luckily, I know at least one app in private beta that hasn't been made public, which I expect to surpass BitClout in terms of engagement. Even if none of the other new apps are a hit, which I think a few of them will be, this is our ace in the hole, should be live by April. So that has me excited. No clue what it could be. Any thoughts? I guess none of us have a clue.
There are plenty of apps who can be the runner-ups for it for sure. like Story, like Pearl, and others.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm excited about Story and Pearl. I think they have a lot of potential. So we'll see. We'll see what this new one's about.
Like, yeah, I get the feeling that he's not talking about either of those, but I guess we'll see. In other news, Altumbase purchased the first ever DeSo username on NameTrade. So NameTrade's basically a marketplace to buy and sell DeSo usernames, and MP3 is the one behind that. Altumbase bought the username Acai, and they said they're going to use it to reward creators and give awards to creators. I'm interested to see how they're going to do that. Altumbase, of course, is one of the Octane Fund companies, and they're doing some big things with stats and with rankings and all of that. Acai, pay attention, see what that's going to become, I guess.
Yeah, you know, like there's all of these bots that are buying up accounts. One day, I think they're going to be on NameTrade.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
sure they will be.
MP3, is that you that's buying up all these accounts? Because it would be a perfect business opportunity. I don't know. I think if I was making NameTrade, I'd probably be running a bot to buy up all the names you sell in there. But yeah, I think it's a good idea. Not the bot thing, but I think the whole NameTrade thing is a really good idea. Oh, I mean, the bot thing is a good idea if you're the one doing it. But,
Yeah.
but for everyone else, it's probably not a good idea. So username deep search is back on OpenProsper. It shows username history and all the public keys that have had a username. So it's great if you want to do a deep dive into a user. You can get all the details, all the information about that user. They've also made a list that shows the 1,000 most active usernames, and you can sort by last hour, last 12 hours, or last 24 hours. So you can see who's been active recently on DeSo. I love what Salil Sethi is doing. I think, you know, I think he comes up with these great ideas, and they're usually, a lot of these ideas are community driven ideas. Like people reach out to him. I know Sandy Rose has reached out to him. Mubs has reached out to him to just add additional statistics, because it's interesting to see stuff like this. And I love that Salil is so responsive to the community, and he responds so quickly.
It feels like he has a new feature like every day. It's crazy. And like I said so many times before, I love statistics. So like I'm at his site like probably like an hour every day, just like browsing things. And Salil has so many great ideas. He's contacted us a couple times about integrating features into NFTZ, which we're going to do. I know he's working with various nodes, and I think that cross-node compatibility and I guess collaboration is what you need and for DeSo to succeed. And Salil is really leading the charge in that area. But moving on, Tijn added a really cool feature to his Tijn.club node. Basically right now, if you post a link, say on bitclout.com to a Diamond app post. So say you're on Diamond app, you copy the URL of a post and then post it on BitClout. What would happen is that if somebody's on BitClout viewing that link, when they click it, it would open up Diamond app, or it would open up DeSocial World if that link is DeSocial World. What Tijn has done with Tijn.club is that if you click any link from any of the DeSo nodes on his node, it actually opens that post up on his node. So it's really fast. It doesn't have to wait for another page to load and for that little diamond thing to fill in or whatever node you're at, you know? So this is a really cool feature. I hope we see it on other nodes too, because it kind of streamlines things. It doesn't matter. It makes people understand DeSo better too, I think, because you've got these other links. Maybe you have a Diamond app link and you click it and it goes to Tijn.club. So it makes people understand that all this information is on one single database.
It also keeps people on Tijn's node.
Good idea.
Yeah, good business idea there. But yeah, I love what Tijn's doing. He, like Salil, adding features to OpenProsper seemingly on a daily basis. Tijn's one of those developers who are coming out with something seems like almost daily, or at least he comes up with data or interesting posts almost daily. So there's some really good developers on the platform who are really contributing a lot. And before we get to Mark and Alex, I just want to touch on the community events today. At 12 p.m. Eastern time on Clubhouse is the IT Clubhouse Voiceover Decibel, DeSo, and Altumbase room. It's a Russian room with Siva, Fancour, Anna Moram, and Psycholog. At 2 p.m. Eastern time is that room we talked about on Clubhouse, the Natterhead Space NFT drop. And we're super excited about this. Like I said earlier, whoever wins the Natterhead's NFT that went to space also gets a corresponding Cloutpunk NFT that also went to space. So you get 2 space NFTs. It's a collaboration with Cloutpunk. Daniel Kemp, Hope, and Manu will hopefully be there. And Van Halen, Mucha Sats, NFT Van Halen, who's the artist behind the project, behind Natterheads. That's Bas Van Halen. And hopefully Wildography and Saving the Survivors can be there as well. Like Brian said, we're going to give 10% of the money brought in from the auction to Saving the Survivors. At 9 p.m. Eastern time, not the Nacho Average call. These have been really fun lately. Beer Buds, it's Beer Buds DeSo Trivia Night on Nacho Average. And Brian Drever, Jody Bozert, Clay Perry Music, and Wendy Lee will be there, among many others. Like a lot of the DeSo OGs show up to the Nacho Average calls all the time. And at 10 p.m. Eastern time, StreamClout Meme Battle with Brock Pearson and LiftClout. That's on Twitch. It's twitch.com/StreamClout. So definitely check those events out. It's an action-packed day in the DeSo community.
And if you're where Mark Bentley and Alex Roken are, then just add 13 hours to all those times.
Exactly.
Alex is 2 hours ahead of me as well.
Oh, wow.
So the 15.
Yeah.
Let's get on to you guys. Obviously, you guys are stars on DeSo. Some of my favorite people, as I already mentioned. What are you guys doing with Cloutform? How often do you release videos? Who else do you have lined up maybe for future videos? And what's your main goal with Cloutform and BitClout/Diamond App/DeSo?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll let Alex go into the details, but in general, before we even dive into that, what was really funny is that it's actually through the Nacho Average call that Alex and I actually met. That's what Cloutform was born from. And Alex reached out to me and was like, any chance you got a Zoom room or something? So the Zoom room we're going to use has kind of fallen through. And I was like, yeah. So we organized it, jumped in, and then what was going to be 10 days is still going on, and no intention to stop anytime soon. So
well, and you got the tattoo, right? Can we see your tattoo? BitClout tattoo.
This is all you, buddy. Yeah, absolutely. We're all in. Absolutely.
Good thing you didn't get the words BitClout on your tattoo. You just have this, so it's not like,
I've got that on my car, Ed. That's my number plate.
And you got a traffic ticket, right? And I think we bid on that NFT. I don't think we won it. I think somebody else won it.
So, yeah, they beat you by about $10. But I've got a couple more if you're keen. So.
But like that was a really cool story because Mark actually got this BitClout license plate on his car, and then he got a speeding ticket. And he actually, I think he paid for the speeding ticket by selling the NFT of the ticket showing BitClout, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Such a great story.
I sat there and thought, it's like, this is NFTs. Everything has value that is, collectible, or, it's perception. Value is really down to perception. And so I saw what was happening with NFTs and I thought, hang on, so I thought it was a great little exercise, and it was a lot of fun, and it paid for my fine.
I bet that NFT has even more value now that BitClout has kind of faded away, So like in 10 years, people are gonna be like, BitClout was like the first node on DeSo. This NFT is worth $100,000.
Absolutely. We got to hodl all this, huh? But yeah, but in direct response to your question, at Cloutform, essentially it's by creators for creators. It's a forum where really creating space to be able to, like the Who's Got Clout podcast. The podcasting side is my passion. Alex is the visionary with Cloutform and the bigger business and everything that he's creating there. And so I'll let you speak to that, Alex. But from the podcast side, Who's Got Clout, that's something that's really come just from this, observing so many incredible people like yourselves, like Salil, all these amazing characters that we've had the opportunity to bring on the podcast. is more than anything, you know, for us to get to meet them and to get to share them out there with the world and to create that connection, you know, the hub basically for Web3. So we're starting with DeSo and it'll always be our love and home, but we're also going to be open to, you know, the rest of Web 3.0 and create that bridge, you know, where people can really find what suits them, what works for them. But yeah, Alex is definitely going to be able to take you a little deeper into the vision.
Yeah, let's hear it out.
Speaking about CloudForm, so the basic line for us is to merge two concepts in one place, is Web3 and creator economy. And this is exactly what BitCloud in early days inspired us to do. And we see potential in that. And Who's Cloud is one of the biggest and flagman projects of ours for now, just revealing characters behind those two things. And now what we want to do in future is to go broader, in a broader space, I mean in Web3 in general, and to introduce DeSo to them, invite them for the conversation, speak about their story, speak about themselves, and introduce how they can utilize DeSo potential to their needs as well. So this is what we are considering right now, and we have launched our website, running cloudform.org, so a new version of a website. And this is the starting point for us to go outside and promote DeSo as a perfect platform for creators from Web2 joining Web3 and using Web3 tools in a more smooth and easy manner. And if we are speaking in a broader sense, so our main goal is just to help Web3 in general to go to mass adoption by various means, like doing some media projects like Who's Got Cloud. I hope we'll soon launch some sort of news of Web3 as well for 5 minutes or so program every week. And we are doing some dev projects behind the scenes as well. Not ready to reveal anything right now, but maybe you know, some of you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, we'll see what we'll be able to manage to do, and we'll share the results with you, of course, guys.
Awesome. Yeah. Can you say the website one more time?
Cloudforum.org.
Cloudforum.org. Great. Yeah, so check that out, definitely. It sounds like you guys have a lot on your plate. And I think Web3 kind of captivates all of us. And like you said, like Web3 is more than just DeSo. DeSo could be a very central part of Web3. But I mean, the technology is just amazing. And I think there's been, I read a lot of articles about, hey, Web3 isn't what it seems to be, or it's not actually, doesn't even exist yet. But like those people must not have found DeSo yet, because I think DeSo is a perfect example of how powerful Web3 can be. You have this not centralized, it's decentralized blockchain that feeds data to possibly thousands of different nodes, and they can all feed data back, and you have this central identity. And I think that needs to kind of be put out there in those Web3 circles, because there are a lot of skeptics that are saying Web3 doesn't even exist. I haven't even seen an example of an actual Web3 application, but DeSo is such an example of it. Don't you agree?
Yeah, when you're saying about Web3 doesn't have the infrastructure that it states to have, and when we see some articles speaking about it, you need to keep in mind one thing. Web3 is a concept, is a ideology, you can say, and it's a idea. It's like we don't have a democracy in full potential and pure democracy that's working fine and everything is smooth in the world and so on and so forth. I mean, in different countries. The same is Web3. We always will have some flaws in it, but the idea itself, the value of it is just enormous from my point of view.
It's a really good
great,
point, Alex.
great way of explaining it, I think. So,
I just want to add, I think a lot of people look at Web3 and say, oh, it's a wild, wild west. This can't work. A decentralized social media can't work because, it needs some centralization. And what they don't realize is that the actual platforms that are running the blockchain are centralized, and they are going to be able to, ban people or block certain posts. But the actual post and the identity of the users are on the blockchain, and they can't just be erased. Like, a corporation or a platform can't say, I don't like you, I'm just gonna get rid of you. You're gonna lose all your followers you built up over the last 10 years, and all that content that you created is just gonna be deleted because I say so. That can't happen. You could be banned from a website, so your stuff doesn't show on that website, but your content remains in that database, the blockchain database, and it can reside on other platforms that are pulling from that database.
Ed, I think what I love about what you nailed there is really it's making censorship a choice now to take part in. It's like, if you want a safe world where there's censorship, then we can create that with a node, and it's a choice rather than a compulsion, which is a little bit scary around the world at the moment.
So Mark, what would you say you're most excited about with DeSo moving forward? I know you've been here since March. You're an OG, just like all four of us, I think. Like, what has you most excited, and what do you think DeSo could improve upon at this point?
So I think, when it comes to this, like the reason this is on my skin, I'll say again and again and again, it's not a logo of a company, but rather, a symbol of a vision that BitClout grounded. So as far as I'm concerned, BitClout's in my heart, from the beginning. And what got me so excited, I've spent a lot of my life having issues with the way governments run, the way economics runs. It's almost like, economic slavery in some ways, the way the kind of system set up. And I acknowledged there was a need for it. But when I saw DeSo come along and someone hooked, my mate, Dan Regan, hooked me into it, and I saw what was happening, I saw the beginning of the liberation of that creativity. Because in a way, it's human creativity. It's evolution is naturally chaotic. And from that chaos is born innovation. And to me, what I saw in DeSo was this beautiful chaos that had been triggered, and this wild energy that just broke paradigms. And from that, it was like being in, and still is like being down the rabbit hole, in Alice in Wonderland, where, like you're saying, your NFTs going around space. It's like all kinds of crazy things. The potential is unreal. So for me, it's really seeing a new creator economy that isn't just pennies, but where we can actually see artists and artisans really make a living and not be controlled by that, and be liberated in that space.
Yeah, that's awesome. I totally agree. Yeah, so unless you guys have any closing words, I think this is a great place to leave off. I want to remind everybody that Cloutform is actually releasing the Brian Krasenstein interview later today. What time exactly will that be available?
Was it 8 p.m. EST, Alex? Are we going to hit that deadline?
8 p.m.
I'll be uploading it overnight. I literally, Brian, have been looking at your face editing that podcast for the last 2 hours.
That's a horrible job. I feel so bad for you, Mark. This phase is so much better than that phase, right?
Well, I was saying, Ed, when are you coming on the podcast now?
I know, I've been on twice.
I don't do podcasts, sorry.
I think it's a timing. Like Ed doesn't want to stay up until 10 p.m. doing it.
Yeah, I go to bed at like 8:30.
I'm jealous. I want to move. I want to become a morning person, so I'm moving towards it. Then I can sleep with you guys a bit easier.
This isn't, I guess this show isn't helping that though, because it's almost 11 p.m. where you're at. But yeah, no, I want to thank you both for being on. Whenever you guys want to come on again, whenever you feel like staying up late at night, let us know. Let us know when you're doing something new. We'll love to have you on.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Oh, and quick little tip. This is a fresh, no one knows this. Hope you don't mind me telling them, Alex, but we are going to be interviewing our next candidate for Who's Got Clout. Will be Meredith Marsones. We'll be
I love her.
dropping
She's
into
awesome.
medicines. I'll be talking to her in about 12 hours time or so. And
she's in your time zone too.
Yes.
Close
I
to
only
it.
realized that afterwards. I thought finally one's a bit easy to organize.
That's awesome.
Hey,
Yeah,
thanks, guys. Really
Meredith's
appreciate it.
amazing. I can't wait to see that one. All right,
Fantastic.
well, have a great day, guys, and we'll talk to everybody tomorrow.